again! Coyote Peterson, and we've all seen me in this position before. No sock on my foot, and the sock being used to draw on a predator. Check this out. Oh, that right there is a baby red fox. Lupin, come here.
Working with animals can be incredibly difficult, especially when you're hoping to encounter them in the wild and have an up-close interaction that is captured on camera. The crew and I have visited many locations over the course of filming Breaking Trail. And if you have ever wondered which location has been the most difficult so far, I would definitely have to say it was Alaska. This far northern state is considered to be the last true frontier. And trust me when I say, the environment posed incredible challenges. From the vast lakes, which we explored by kayak, to the rushing glacial melt streams that were nearly impossible to forge without getting soaked by icy cold water. Then there were the incredibly dense forests. Built with ancient trees and thick plants, this habitat provided the perfect hiding places for native wildlife.
So I climbed up on top of this stump here, searching the forest. Check out this vantage point. Wow, that is just trees as far as the eye can see.
So what becomes the game plan when finding animals in the wild is next to impossible? Simple. We work with ones that have been rescued or raised in captivity. Today we will be working at Steve Krochel's Wildlife Sanctuary, which is home to many different mammal species, including moose, weasels, and even a wolverine. In my opinion, mammals are the most difficult animals to work with because they very rarely want to be held, and getting them to sit still for the cameras is next to impossible. And while in the past I have worked with giant grizzly bears, ferocious badgers, and spring-loaded bobcats, nothing would challenge me and the crew more than an incredibly adorable baby red fox named Lupin.
Now, one of the toughest things about working with a fox is that a fox wants to move around as much as possible. So right now we are inside of Lupin's enclosure, and you can see this looks completely natural. You can barely even tell that we're in her enclosed environment. Here she comes. Lupin. She's very excited to have us in here. Come here, you. As soon as she starts to calm down, I have a good feeling that she'll probably come close for the cameras, but at the moment, we have to let her get acclimated to us being in here. There you are. Are you gonna come hang out with me?
Right about now, I am sure you are wondering, what in the world are those noises Coyote is making? Well, they're fox calls that Steve taught me. You see, Steve has the uncanny ability to speak with animals.
Now, Steve,
Yeah.
I hear you making this noise. Sounds like a turkey noise.
Well, I'm talking mink language now.
That's mink.
Yeah, mink language. Go ahead and try it.
Okay.
Gotta go faster. There you go. Pretty good.
And he said that if I could master the language of the fox, I would likely become one of the skulk, which is a group of foxes.
There you are. Hello. Do you have a good sprint? What do you think? How about you and I have a conversation about your 12 vocal calls? I know you have 12 things to say to me.
My fox lingo was a bit off, so then we tried a fox toy. Just a simple duck wing tied to a stick.
That's what you call fishing for a fox right there. Oh, you almost had it. I'm doing my best to keep her attention. Hi, good afternoon.
Keeping a fox's attention in front of a camera is far easier said than done, and before we knew it, Lupin was back to running laps around her enclosure.
Hey, Lupin, come on back here.
Next, we tried to get her up close to the cameras by pretending my hand was a mouse.
What I'm gonna do right now is turn my hand into a mouse. I'm gonna actually put it down in this hole and bury it in the grass, try to make some mouse noises, rustle this around, and see if I can get Lupin to come and pounce on me. You ready?
Yep.
Let's try this. worked. And she bit right down to the tip of my finger, only to find that it isn't actually a mouse. Well, that was pretty cool. All right, well, apparently I can speak mouse. Haven't quite yet learned how to speak fox.
We had some pretty good success at first, until she figured out that she couldn't eat my fingers.
How cool is that? Every single time she thinks my finger's a mouse. And that's such a great hunting instinct for this baby animal, to be able to learn that this is how I catch mice. It is very, very difficult to hold onto this baby fox because she wants to run around in the enclosure. So one tactic I used with the ocelot was to take my sock off and get its attention with that. Lupin. Here we go. She's got her attention. Oh boy, look at that. Oh, Saki's good.
It worked wonders with the ocelot in Costa Rica, so I figured, why not try it with a fox?
Get that sock. Now, if I was one of her litter mates and I found something out there in the wild, like a hunter who left a sock behind, this would be a great toy to play with. This fox is incredibly playful, and at this age, that's natural. But even adult foxes, you'll see running around out in fields, prancing, hopping, playing fun games. Anything that she can potentially get her claws and her teeth on is fair game.
And while tug of war seemed to hold her attention at first, like any curious baby animal, she soon lost interest and went back to going everywhere except in front of the main camera.
Mario, you made a buddy. For me? You're so cute. You're such a cutie. Well, she's over there, rolling around on her back with Mario, and he's got that big fuzzy microphone on the front of his camera, and I think she's attracted to either shininess of the lens or the microphone cover. It's almost impossible to keep her in one spot. I'm gonna put my boot back on, and one of my favorite things to do with the animals that we work with is to actually follow them around with a GoPro camera. So I've got the GoPro set up on a gimbal, and let's see if we can track down the baby red fox. Ready? The red fox is one of the most elusive animals in the world. And I would say in my lifetime, I've probably only ever seen 5 fox in the wild. And even when you do see them, it's only for a brief second. So if you do happen to encounter a fox, consider yourself lucky. This right here, getting to play with the baby one, whew, it's absolutely exhausting. If there's one animal that has really worn me out, it's definitely the baby red fox. This thing's got more energy than any animal we've ever worked with.
For nearly 15 minutes, we attempted to follow Lupin around her enclosure. And for a brief moment, she rolled over on her back for a belly rub.
Well, there she goes. That's about the closest we've been all day. Pretty cool, palling around with a baby red fox. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
Like I said in the beginning, filming with mammals is incredibly difficult. And after 2 hours of following this fox in circles, the crew and I called it a wrap. Getting to pal around with Lupin was one of my fondest memories from Alaska. And if there's one thing I'm confident we can all agree on, it's that this baby fox is about as adorable as it gets. If you thought using a sock to play with a fox was savvy, make sure to go back and see how well this tactic worked when I got up close with a wild ocelot. And don't forget, subscribe so you can join me and the crew on this season of Breaking Trail.
The bullet ant is the grand finale on my quest to find the most painful sting in the insect kingdom. The tarantula hawk is definitely the last act. And right now Mark is shooting B-roll of it inside its little glass enclosure. And boy, it does not look happy. Now they say that the sting of the tarantula hawk is #2
on the insect sting pain index. It's like being stunned with a taser, and they say it puts you into a state of paralysis for up to 5 minutes, where all you can do is scream. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited about this.
All right, Coyote. You okay, man? Your heart racing?
Million miles a second. This is the most nervous I've ever been to take a sting or bite from anything. My hand is shaking. Are you guys all ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready if you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the tarantula hawk.
Go for it.
1, 2, here we go. 3. Ah! Ah!
I think we can all agree that I have done some pretty crazy things. Like the time where I stuck my arm into the mouth of an alligator to show you why getting an alligator as a pet is not a good idea.
Ready? Everyone ready?
Rolling.
Rolling. GoPro. Rolling. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Oh yeah, he is into my arm and he is holding on. Then there was the time I put that same arm into a container full of blood-sucking leeches to show you what it's like to be feasted on by one of the world's most notorious parasites. Look at that. They are all over me. Oh, I can definitely feel something happening. It feels like sandpaper grinding against my skin. You guessed it. They drank a lot of blood. And it's all about the amount of anticoagulant that actually went into my hand. I may be bleeding for hours at this point.
Together we are strong. The shrine gathers power. Claim it. Yes. Suitably done. Our path is clear. There can be no doubt. There can be no doubt. The future is ours. Better now, mortal.
Cut us down, and we will grow back.
The frozen Punisher serves the high heavens. Strike it down quickly. We must stand as one. Together we are strong. Those imbeciles ruined our bold plan. Stand as one. have shattered our fort. Fight harder. Swell. With honor, we have lost the key. Brutalize them. You lack honor. Our path is clear. Heaven's forces have slain our Punisher! I see. With honor, I lead. Let's capture this mercenary camp. Another shrine will be ready soon. We are strong. Yes. Double kill. Triple kill.
Incredible.
Killing spree. You know what to do. Slay the Guardians. Unleash the Punisher. Go now! We must retreat. went against you, hero.